what's hard to grasp today, in my opinion, would that be liquid salt brine that's basically 76% water and 23% salt can melt snow and ice. And chemically, it can do that. And we're in the business of traction rather than melting. And if by applying liquids to a property, we're increasing traction rather than melting snow, we're providing a safe surface in order for people to travel vehicular or to travel by foot. So benefits of liquid de-icing from a customer's standpoint could be environmental, to where you're decreasing the environmental impact by using liquids up to 70% compared to rock salt. Also cost savings. There's a cost savings depending on your application process. There's an extreme cost savings of up to 50% over rock salt that can be achieved when you're applying liquids compared to a granular rock salt. And also performance. To be able to pre-treat a parking lot up to 48 hours in advance and prevent the bonding of snow and ice ahead of time without having to go out during the storm starting of it and extending the service period. To be able to pre-treat with liquids and also post-treat with liquids are also best practices and important to be able to consider from a customer's standpoint, environmental benefit, a cost benefit, and also a safety benefit. What you see today is VSI's 750-gallon fully automated sprayer. Comes in multiple different sizes, but today this is the 750. We have it mounted on a switch and go on our truck, and I'm happy to show you some of the features that it has. So beginning here, this is the power. We would start the unit this way, turn the power onto the unit, turn the key on the Honda motor, and that's now going to start the signal for the total control communication. So this is an app-based control system. It's completely wireless into the cab. There is an option this year that it will also come with a hardwired cab option. So if you're old traditional and you want switches, you'll have that, but they'll also have the capability to run this completely wirelessly. It does track all the information, how many gallons per acre or lane miles, depends if you are going to apply in a commercial application or a municipal road application. So it'll track either one of those. It will track how many gallons you put down through your spray reel or your hose lane booms. It tracks the event, the season. At the end of that event or season, you could submit that through an email address to your supervisor, your boss, or even your customer, and it will give you exact information on how many gallons that you put out, how many acres that you covered. It'll also keep track of engine hours on your Honda motor. So if you're the service technician and you need to change the oil in your motor, this will track how many hours that it keeps track of. So starting here is the Honda motor, total controlled by your app, 2-inch poly pump, stainless steel filter screen here. This is your intake valve. This system again is run by your battery. We're seeing battery lives upwards up to 30 to 40 hours. Depends how often you turn on your floodlight. If you turn it on, you leave it on, it'll operate 30 hours. If you're using it just as you need, it'll operate 40 hours or more just on this one charge. At the end of the storm, you would open up this plug here, plug in an extension cord to the onboard battery tender, and that's going to charge your battery, and it won't overcharge it. It'll trickle charge it, and when it's fully charged, it will shut off, and it will show through a green light. So over here, this is the 3-lane boom control that's run off GPS. This comes down to the booms for your left nozzle, center nozzles, and your right nozzle options. So on the side booms you have on the bottom, this is your pre-treatment nozzle, flows up to 60 gallons an acre, and your post-treatment nozzle flow up to 120 gallons an acre. The size of these nozzles are what's nice is we have sprayed this truck last year. It sprayed 80,000 gallons without clogging any tips, and this is still the condition that you see it today. So on this side here as well, there's pre-treatment nozzle, post-treatment nozzle for the side booms. In the center there is a stainless steel bar, and that's going to be a pencil tip post-treatment nozzle for penetrating the snowpack. The pre-treatment nozzle is a fan tip to get total coverage for your pre-treatment applications. Hose reel is a 100-foot hose reel this year, and there's what's different on this year's model compared to last is we did away with the high-powered floodlight, and now we have 2 individual lights that you can aim either backwards or sides to see your side spray. You have a little bit more adjustability and user-friendly for your spotlights. So connecting this, Josh, if you wouldn't mind showing them how we would connect and fill this tank. So we just connect to this valve here from our portable storage tank, either at our shop or at a remote site. We would open this valve that flows through the pump, fire up the motor, open this valve, and now we're going to fill this tank at 2-inch capacity. For this tank, it takes about 8 minutes to fill. After we're done filling, we close this valve, close our intake valve, open the valve from our tank. That way we can charge the system of what's on board. I'm going to link to the app. It's Android smartphone based, so you can run either one, or even an iPod. If you don't have a cellular service number, an iPod will run the system as well. iPod, iPad, anything that has Bluetooth capability can control this sprayer. So off the app, what I'm doing is just starting the motor. So I can start it, I can stop it right off the phone. I can start it again. I can control the throttle. I can also control the choke from the app. And I can also control the hose reel, all from a push of a button on the app. See, the light bar is also controlled from the app. So from your platform in your cab, you can turn your light bar on and off, and you can turn your strobes on and off individually. For vehicular safety, traveling down the road, keep your strobes on, light bar off. So today, to show you the automatic GPS flow rate mode, I'm in automatic right now. It's going to read the GPS speed. I'm going to turn on all 3 booms. The valves have opened. If the motor wasn't running, you could hear that. And it's not spraying right now because it's not reading any travel speed from the vehicle. Turn the valves off. I switch to manual mode, and that will allow me to run this sprayer without having the GPS rate control. So this is the proportional valve here. This valve will manually open or close, and it will put out whatever your desired gallons per minute are. So that's how I'm going to show you how these spray booms work today. I'm going to increase the throttle, show you the pre-treatment spray nozzle on the left, the pencil tip in the center, and the post-treatment on the right. What's nice about this unit is if you have any car parking lots that there's open car parking spaces, you can use this side boom driving alongside the bumpers of the vehicles, turning your spray boom on and off in the open parking spaces to de-ice it. That avoids you having to back into that individual space, costing time, potentially hitting something with the operation of the side boom. We like to do that on the driver's side, so we have better visibility out of our side mirror of when to turn on and turn off the spray boom. So one nice feature too is that you could take this spray boom off if you had a sidewalk machine or a snow raider or a vent track or even a pre-wet system on another truck that you wanted to fill. Could you take that hose off? You could detach the cam lock, attach that to your machine on the side, and use this spray system to fill up that unit. Obviously, it would be attached to that unit, and you could control filling small quantities, say that your Fisher sidewalk sprayer or your vent track has a fill hose. you can use this large capacity tank to fill your smaller units, whether it's on a sidewalk or even a portable tank, to have control of that without having to drag out a large 2-inch hose. So that does give you a nice feature. So when you're done spraying your parking lot, you want to spray a sidewalk. You don't want to take your expensive phone that's resting in your lap. This phone stays in the cab. That way you don't lose it, you don't step on it, it's not damaged. This controller will operate your sprayer. This remote will control the choke and the throttle. It will also control the lights. And it will control the hose reel as well. Let me drag this out quite a ways for you. Press the hose reel button and it's going to retract automatically. So this I would have on a lanyard around your neck. Easy big buttons, weatherproof, so you can use your gloves without having to take it off. If you don't have the remote, you can also have a second operator. They can wind up the hose reel just by pushing the button here on the unit. Again, to spray, we can raise the throttle, and we're spraying. That's the hose reel, 750 VSI sprayer. Some nice features about this is a bottom pickup tank. So underneath this tank, that's where it draws the liquid. So all 750 gallons of this system is used for de-icing. Sometimes customers may call because they don't see rock salt on their parking lot, but there's liquids that are applied and it's doing its job creating traction. So that's part of the education that's necessary, not just to customers, but to consumers and other service providers. That is important and never changing. We're learning and evolving every day and every year, and it's necessary for customers to also be educated either by shows like today or by the customer or the contractor educating the pros and cons and the benefits of liquid compared to granular de-icing applications. I think most importantly is education in seeing the equipment that's available in the open market. So the more people get educated about the benefits and the possible pros and cons of liquid, it's super important to know what you're doing out there in the industry, in the snow accounts on the roads. If you're not familiar with what you're doing, get to a trade show, get to an educational. They have them in person like today, they have them online, and start learning about how liquids can benefit your company.